Welcome to Looking Within, a podcast for the spiritual explorer in each of us. I'm Julie. I love to explore the inner life using contemplative practices, and I love to help others to do the same. In our time together, I hope you gain a sense of hope, meaning, joy, and love. As a Christian spiritual explorer, I hope to offer some thoughts to help you see God's presence in activity in ever-expanding ways. As you listen, ponder, and experience the divine, feel free to use the spiritual perspective you are most comfortable with in our practice today. Now, let's begin. Earlier this month, I had my 58th birthday. At this point in my life, and with each passing birthday, the thought crosses my mind that I have increasingly more birthdays behind me than in front of me. I'm still very engaged in life through the calling that I feel to my relatively new role at work, through watching our grown children make their way into adulthood, and through the curiosity-filled anticipation of how I'll be given chances to continue to contribute to the world and others around me in the years to come. I feel like I have much to live for and things that I'm excited about. But right alongside that excitement is a question we may all ponder at times. For right now, am I living my life in the way I'm meant to? My wonderings stem from a quote by the late Dr. Kathleen Dowling Singh, a hospice worker, psychotherapist, and a very deep and influential spiritual writer known especially for 3 books: The Grace in Living, The Grace in Aging, and The Grace in Dying. The insights in her books apparently grew out of her experience and work with terminally ill patients in hospice. Her observations of the dying taught her a lot about what it means to age and what it means to live. In her book, The Grace in Aging, she said this: "Many of us have lived much of our lives as a dress rehearsal without the sharp mindfulness of opening night. How kind and wise it would be to live in presence, authenticity, and radically simple sanity. If we have any desire to ripen into spiritual maturity, into the abiding experience of the sacred, of all that lies beyond this small self, now is the time." End quote. There are multiple things in Singh's words that I find more and more attractive and necessary for one's holistic well-being. Things like mindfulness, presence, authenticity, and simple sanity. Not only do I find these concepts attractive, but they also seem essential for my own continuing personal development and for my effect on the world around me. I can't help but notice that Singh seems to indicate that these things are part of ripening into spiritual maturity, that an abiding experience of the sacred and all that lies beyond this small self are the psycho-spiritual places in which we find and live out what is most essential and life-giving for us. Moving beyond our small self and ripening into spiritual maturity is also where we personally develop into human beings that are awake, conscious, and helpful to a hurting world. There is so much that could be unpacked in this quote from Kathleen Dowling Singh. So much. But for today, I just wanted to use her thought-provoking words as a backdrop to the question I posed to myself on the occasion of my birthday. Am I living my life in the way I'm meant to? Have I rehearsed enough? Have I explored enough? Have I nailed down some core values and a sense of what I'm called to at this present moment enough that I can say I'm ready for opening night, ready to fully live into the days to come in the foreseeable future? Keep in mind that in this play, in our lives, there will be many opening nights. We'll make our way through a life path that will likely not be linear, having twists and turns, high points and beautiful vistas mixed with deep, dark valleys. The script will, of course, change over time, as will our fellow actors, the venue and stage backdrops, and even our interpretation of a long-understood script. All of that is to be expected. But like me, Whether you use your birthday or another annual marker, perhaps you too feel like you'd benefit from consciously stepping out of the rehearsal mode and into whatever area of life that you feel is primed and ready for. Now is the time. Let's think about this in our moments of quiet. In this quiet space and time, I'd invite you to gently close your eyes. I'll sound the Tibetan singing bowl, which will call you to look within. As you're listening to the bowl's reverberations, take 3 deep breaths. Then let your breathing return to normal whenever you'd like. Hear the sound of the bowl now. Let it center you. Let it remind you that God is here with you. Life is short, unpredictable, busy, ever-changing, sometimes overwhelming. But now is the time. In the quiet, look closely at your life, every part of it, whatever areas apply to you, professional, home, school, community, those moments all to yourself. What has been in dress rehearsal mode? Perhaps lacking mindful direction and purpose, your full and authentic presence, a sense of simple sanity. What small or big changes have you pondered making in your daily schedule, your habits, your commitments, or in your spiritual practices? Opening night has arrived. Are you living your life in the way you're meant to? I'll be back with you in about 3 minutes. I'd invite you now to take a few deep breaths, in and out, in and out. Let these breaths fill you with strength and energy. Hear me sound the Tibetan singing bowl, and as the sound of the bowl reverberates and slowly dies away, you can gently open your eyes, remaining still for a moment longer. Our Kathleen Dowling Sing quote ended with these words, quote, "If we have any desire to ripen into spiritual maturity, into the abiding experience of the sacred, of all that lies beyond this small self, now is the time." End quote. I hope I've stopped short of placing any guilt or sense of inadequacy on you today as I've called you to a few moments of life examination. As you join me for this podcast, I suspect you already ponder the types of things that we've been talking about in this episode. Whether you use your birthday, the start of a new year each January, or any other annual event, it's a good thing to periodically take stock of your journey. In doing so, you not only spot the little or big things you'd like to address, but even better, you'll see the progress you've made on your journey. You'll see your unique and wonderful contribution to and effect on the world and those around you. You'll see the increasing number of places in your daily life that you spot and experience God, always sensing that God stands ready to help you on each step of your journey. And best of all, you'll relish in envisioning the smile on God's face for you, beloved child of God. Now is the time. The curtain is rising. The audience anticipates all that you'll bring. Feel that spurt of enlivening focus and energy? Opening night is here. Thank you for making time for your inner self today. Whatever you've discovered and experienced, carry that with you in the coming days. You can find more episodes at our website, gloria-day, that's DEI.com/lookingwithinpodcast, or subscribe through your favorite podcast app. We'll see you next time.